Bedtime Stories presents Who Put Bella Down the Wych Elm? As all good horror stories begin, this one starts in the deep dark woods. One day in April in 1943, 4 young boys were hunting for birds' nests in Hagley Woods, Worcestershire, in England. They would climb up into trees and scout the branches for nests. When they stumbled upon what locals called the Wych Elm because it looked so ominous and creepy, one of the boys volunteered to check the tree for a bird's nest. So he climbed up the branches carefully before leaning over and looking down into the hollowed trunk. He was horrified to see something staring back at him, a human skull. The boys immediately swore an oath of silence between them, promising to never tell anyone of what they had discovered. However sincere their oath was, the youngest boy was so disturbed that he confided in his father, who then went to the police. When the police were taken to the Wych Elm, they discovered much more than a human skull. They recovered a nearly complete human skeleton with fragments of clothing and a pair of shoes settled down in the trunk. Nearby, they also discovered a severed hand. A forensic scientist, Professor James Webster, examined the remains and concluded that they had belonged to a woman between 35 and 40 years old. The woman would have been about 5 foot tall, had irregular teeth, and had given birth to 1 child. There was a piece of taffeta fabric stuffed inside the woman's mouth, leading to the conclusion that she had died from asphyxiation. Almost immediately, wild rumours swirled about how she had died and why she ended up into the spooky elm tree. People swirled ideas that involved secret groups of witches, an occult sacrifice, a World War II era of German spies, gypsies, and more. When investigators tried to identify the body, they cross-referenced the professor's description of the woman with missing persons reports from around the region. To no success. The press labelled the case the tree murder riddle. That is, until a few months later, graffiti messages started appearing around the town. The graffiti asked, "Who put Bella down the Wych Elm, Hagley Wood?" The police assumed that the perpetrator of the graffiti must know the identity of the woman because it was the first time a name, Bella, had been introduced. From that point forward, the woman was known as Bella. One day in 1953, a letter turned up from a woman who identified herself as Anna. She said Bella was a Dutch woman whose full name was Clara Bella Dronkers, who had become tangled in a ring of World War II spies, from whom she had learnt too much. Although some of the details from this letter were verified, it never led anywhere. In 2009, the investigation was officially closed, and it was around this time that they had discovered Bella's bones had disappeared. This sparked more rumours about the case, and now people were suggesting that the government was involved in a high-level cover-up. As a result, MI5 released their files on a Gestapo agent called Joseph Jacobs. He had been arrested in the 40s and had been found holding a picture of his lover, a German woman called Clara Boreal. Clara was a cabaret singer and an actress who had allegedly been recruited by the Nazis. Because the body in the Wych Elm was found after Joseph's death by firing squad in 1941, there had been no more information about Clara. Many believe Clara is the likeliest identity of Bella. She was the correct age and wasn't heard on from after 1941. Even though the case remains unsolved, the strange graffiti continues to appear. And as for the Wych Elm, it still stands in the Hagley Woods to this day. And there you have it, FactMates, our first bedtime story. Who put Bella down the Wych Elm? Well, I guess we'll never know. Let me know down below what you want to hear next time.